Database delegated measures. A universe has three basic types of result objects. One is dimensions, details, and measures. Measure objects are analytical values like dollars or quantitatives. Measure objects have two extra settings that dimensions and details do not have. One is a SQL aggregate function and a report projection function. Well, the SQL aggregate function is not enforced by the application, but it should always be present. The SQL aggregate function is performed by the database server, and the projection function is used by the report engine. This is what makes measures roll up when you slice and dice or drill on a report. Here in the measure revenue object, I'm using the formula as sum of invoice lines into invoice number of guests into service per price. If I run a query using result year and sales revenue, I hit the run query. Put this here. I got the sum of the sales revenue for the Bahamas Beach for the year 2008. The sales revenue is this. If I remove this year from here, what will happen? The revenue values will automatically roll up. See, this is because the function what you have applied at the universe level. That is what all was controlled by the projection function, which is part of the object properties, as some I have used. But what happens when projection fails? Well, this works well until the special function like average is considered. Averages cannot be easily projected because the source data could be very skewed. Averages cannot easily be projected because the source data could be very skewed. Let's say some operation can be applied recursively. What this means is that 1 plus 5 generates the same result as 1 plus of 2 plus 3. But whereas average is not recursive. An average of 1 and 2.5 is not the same as an average of 1, 2 and 3. For the record, an average of 1 and 2.5 is 1.75 and an average of 1, 2 and 3 is 2. Even with a very small set of data, the results of an average projection can be very wrong. The basic problem here is that averages have to work with the source data. I cannot apply an average to an average and expect to get the correct result. It is for this reason that report developers have had to create average and percentage calculations on their reports rather than using an object from a universe. In order to deliver the correct results, I have to work with the source data. To be further more detailed, I have created a measure object, average revenue, by applying the simple formula. It is average of number of days into lines and number of guests. So here you see average of average. So for this I'm creating a query by using result year and average revenue, which is equal is average of invoice. Okay. So if I hit the run query, let me draw this here. Result for, let's say, result and average revenue is, it says 12447.5, which we think maybe it's correct. But let me do one thing. Let me bring one new function, the new object, which is delegate revenue, by using the delegate function. So what I did for how I created this object is simply by going to designer. The formula is similar. Let me go to object properties. It is average of the same thing, but here in the properties I change the function here to database delegated. So database delegated, hit OK, save it and export it to universe. hit the rank query. So now here I got the data. So now let's take result and delegate revenue, which is the average function. So every time if you are using the delegate function into a object, so it will, once you bring it into the report, it will allow you to know to refresh the data. So now let me refresh the data. Now this is the correct average value for my report. So well, these delegate revenues is sometimes it can create the problems too. Like if the time taken for your query to run is like 15 seconds, okay, but if it takes 30 seconds, 50 seconds to refresh your data from the query, so this delegate revenue is not going to work in the perfect way. So to conclude my session, I would say well, this is a new feature in XIR3 which wasn't present in XIR2. So hope you guys enjoyed this.